Americans who've been to or traveled to Europe, what's something Europe has changed in your mind that now you can't let go?
Okay. I went to Australia, which is a continent in a country. It is not Europe, obviously, but I just want to say for record, I went there, and one thing that I noticed, I sprained my ankle. They gave me crutches. I paid them $20, and they said, when you give us the crutches back, guess what? We'll give you your $20 back. I sprained my ankle when I was in middle school. I sprained the other ankle when I was in college. I don't want to tell you how much the ER costs, but what the everlasting McDonald is going on with our healthcare system? Oh, and the food there was delicious, and I lost weight, and I was active as all hell.
I think about this a lot as an American who lived in Europe for 6 years in London and traveled all over Europe and had a great time there. One thing I love about Europe is that it's much more communitarian, community-based, community-minded. So while in America we're so focused on individualism and our careers, in Europe it's much more about, maybe not making the most or having the most, but getting together with a friend for coffee, grabbing a drink at a pub, sitting around and watching TV, going to some sort of outdoor event. Like, everything is much more based around getting together and enjoying time together, even if it's a simple meal or a coffee or just enjoying something like, a movie or TV show or whatever. Everything is much more community based and less individualistic.
I've been in London for the past 3 months, and I have not had a deli sub this entire time. It's going crazy. I've had to, completely relearn food. I'm talking no General Tso, no boneless spare ribs. I thought I knew what Indian food was. I had no idea what Indian food was. I love Indian food, bro. The candies less sugary, portions way smaller. I feel like I'm going vegetarian or something, man. Nah, one thing y'all straight for me though is breakfast, bro. I do not want no beans. I will never let go of what y'all did to pancakes.
That I was brainwashed with Eurocentrism, and that almost everything, so many of the things that I hate about the United States come from and originate and are rooted here in Europe, because the US is the extension of European colonialism. And yeah, it's toxic here. I've been living here for almost 8 years, and the depths and the layers and just the intensity of that people here is it's heavy.
No, okay, so it changed a lot of things for me. And when I was a junior in college, I went and lived in Ireland for roughly 6 months, and I spent most of my time, 99.9% of my time, in one area of Galway, which is in the western section. And it's a fairly good-sized city as far as, Ireland is concerned. And so it changed a shit ton for me. One of the things that it changed that can never be replicated here, I do not care what somebody says, is safety. Because I was a junior, I was an American, I was in college, I was studying abroad, I was 20 sheets to the wind every now and then, and I would walk home from the pubs. They close at 4, 3 or 4 in the morning. So I'd be walking home after getting some food, at 4 in the morning by myself from Center City to my house. No problems. No problems. And I never felt unsafe one time. The second thing it changed was police. I don't know, this is just my experience and then the experiences I saw of people with them, but you could be that drunk out on the thing, I'm gonna piss on a wall and I'm gonna fight you. The cops would just be like, all right, Joe, get in the car, we're gonna take you home. Get in the car, Joe. And they were just super nice. You were encouraged to walk up to them and be like, hey, you know what, I kind of need a ride. And they'd be like, all right, cool, let's see if we can call you a taxi or we'll take you, get on, whatever. Super polite. The other thing it changed, and this is really weird, but it changed me forever, so Chinese food. Yeah. So Galway is this little international port. So the Chinese food that I had in Galway was straight from whatever section of China the owner of that restaurant was from, and imported its food directly from that area of China. So they made cuisine that was not Americanized in any way, shape, or form. And so even in my wildest dreams, when I was there, I ordered like takeout. And it showed up at my door. It was rain and hell. Like I hate rain. So I was like hiding. Anyway, that's another story. And so the guy knocks on the door. I have this Chinese food. And I called the guy I was dating back in America via Skype back in the day and was like, I've had the best Chinese food of my life. And then told my roommates who were Irish. And they were like, oh, that's nothing. You should go to this place. Whole different region of China. And it was just so good. And so now, no matter where I go in America, I have yet to have Chinese food nearly as good as I did in Ireland, and basically it changed me forever. So yeah,
working, because the girlies over there, they are working to live, not living to work. Okay, they are at that job so that when they clock off, they can go head to the bar with their friends and or family. They value family and friend time, like hanging out, whether that's at the bar, the club, the park, the restaurant. And the money that comes from a job is just so that they can do those things, which is just so different from the American ideal. Your job is your life, is your life's work. Everything, nothing comes before your job. Because all this hustle culture, at the end of the day, if you die, what are you left with? What are people going to remember about you? Well, she was really good at her job. It really changed how I viewed work, because it really is more so a transaction of my time for money and not like my life. But U.S. labor practices won't let me be great.
They're so scared of guns, dude. Like, they are so freaking scared that every American has a gun. But they don't even question the fact that people walk around their country throwing acid in people's faces. Like, it's just fucking normal. And they have, like, fucking full-blown tits on the news. That was weird.
Oh boy, where do I even start? I mean, there's so many things I could talk about, but the number one thing I'm going to talk about, just quickly, for those who know me, you know what I'm going to say, public transportation. Yeah, I studied abroad in Bordeaux, traveled to Munich, Dresden, Prague, Barcelona, Madrid. Man, Europe they get public transportation. They put trams on the street. They make sure cars are not going, like, throughout the city, so it's, designated that it's public transportation. And they got trams. They going everywhere. They're going to the north, the south, the east, the west. They'll cover your ass wherever you want to go in the city. But the US, yeah, maybe some big cities have subways. Otherwise you got bus systems. But where's the public transportation here? Give me some trams, America. I want trams.
So when I was 19, I lived in England. I studied abroad while in college. I could talk about a lot of things, including the issues with urban sprawl that we have in America that they don't have in Europe. So anyway, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to talk about food. I was eating at least 5,000, 6,000 calories a day. Easy. I was also walking every day, everywhere. However, not enough to burn that many calories. I was eating shit. Like pure and utter shit. I was not eating good food. I was eating McDonald's, KFC, burger, bad food. And I lost 35 pounds. 35. I came back to the States, no acne, no anxiety. I could not wear the clothes in my closet. They were hanging off of me. When Tesco says your peaches are going to expire on the 9th of June, they mean the 8th of June. There are no preservatives. There are no artificial hormones. There are nothing in those foods. And I miss it every day. I cannot describe it. I came back to the States and I got sick the first time I ate food.
Great question. What has it changed in my mind? How I eat generally. So I'm just going to build on what you were saying. Farmers markets for one, supporting the local economy, supporting agriculture, and supporting the environment just by going to farmers markets. That's a huge thing in Europe. And on top of that, if it's not seasonal, it's not happening. So, you're not going to find tomatoes all year round. You're not going to find cucumbers all year round. You just have to get over it. And I think that's amazing. If we all ate seasonal and we all supported our local agriculture, and if you don't have a farmer's market where you live in North America, it's understandable, but you can still shop seasonal. So I think if we all did that globally, not just in North America, I think we'd do much better as the human race.
Hola y'all, hey y'all, hey. Make sure you go to the original video and show it some love by watching it in its entirety, because what he's putting out is great, are great observations regarding his experiences in Finland. And I want to say that a lot of those ring true from my experience here in Germany and in Spain, because I lived in both. But having said that, Europe has forever changed my mind regarding food and the availability of fresh, whole, healthy food. Whereas here you can go to daily markets, farmers markets here that are not far away. You can go to any grocery store and buy fresh, whole, healthy food that does not break the bank. But back in the States, that's not always true. And it also seems to me that the food products available back in the States are all engineered to not only make people sick, but keep them sick.